Good day, everybody. My name is Dr. Francois Tessier. I am the CEO of the Center for Complementary Therapies and Pain Management in Sri Lanka. Welcome to this series of Zoom interview where you discover the most amazing doctors, therapists, philosophers, artists, shaman, healers, etc. that are practicing all sorts of complementary therapies worldwide. And in their own way, they enlighten us with their wisdom, and their journey help us to understand the world differently. Today, we have a very special guest. We have Mrs. Hasu Patel. She is a sitarist, an educator, a composer. She is from India, and she lives in the United States. Mrs. Hasu Patel is one of the very, very few female Indian classical music sitar performer in the world. She dedicates her life to preserve the traditional music of ancient India. Her playing is finely nuanced and very expressive. She is a performer, of course, but also a composer and an educator. Her instrument is the sitar, the most popular string instrument of India. Mrs. Patel plays her instrument in a very special style known as Gayaki Ang vocal style, where the sitar represents the fluidity and the subtle nuances of the human voice. The innovative techniques which she is credited to her guru, the sitar legend, Ustad Vilayat Khan Sahib, I'm not sure I pronounce it correctly, the most significant contribution in her music inheritance. She has dedicated her life on preserving and propagating this purity, the fascinating and highly evolved classical music of ancient India. Well, Mrs. Patel, you have a very diverse history, very diverse curriculum, so it is very difficult to introduce you. So I will simply welcome you and thank you for accepting our invitation. Namaste.
Namaste, Doctor. Good morning. Here.
Good morning and good evening.
My name is Hasu Patel, and I live in the United States for most of my life.
Oh.
More than 4 decades.
Yes. So
I came as a young here, but my journey starts in India, in a city called Baroda.
Oh.
It's a very educational city, politically very rich city, where I was trained and as a sitar player. But my father was the most instrumental person in my life, because he was a physician, doctor by himself, but he wanted his children to learn music so they can be humble and serve the world. That was his dream. And we got a very rigorous training there for 15 years, 6 to 8 hours a day. I studied with my first guru. He was blind, and his name was Mr. Kikani. And I didn't know how to play. I was only 6 years old, and he told me, just copy me, how I hold the sitar, how I play. And he taught me the voice, he taught me the music, the sitar, through his voice. So voice was instilled in me since at my young age. And when I became older, in the middle of my life, Ustad Vilayat Khan Sahib came in my life, and where he groomed me, he polished me for a fine Gayaki Ang, which is a vocal style. My journey is not that easy. In my time, around 40 years ago, when a woman plays the sitar, it's not, or any music, it was not welcome.
Why?
So there were more obstacles.
What is the reason of that?
Because I'm a woman, I was a girl.
Why? I don't understand why women could not play the sitar. Why women was not allowed? What is the reason?
why is the question for me and you both today also, but it happened.
Oh,
It happened. So I defied all the laws of the society, practice in a shadow, practice in a without making any telling anybody that what I'm doing, in like as if I'm like a not I'm not accepted or I'm not welcome, and in a fear I practice. But to me, the divine power, the music, is a language of universal language of God. And God Himself creates this thing, gives you the power to do that thing. And it was my inner voice told me to keep playing no matter what happens.
oh,
I so I came there. I had a degrees in with the age of 20. I had a master's degree in music and economics and statistics and everything. So I came at the age of 20. After age of 20, I came into the United States. And I was looking for a window of opportunity, but I was in a very small town in America. So there was no window, but I kept playing. Slowly, God opened the window. I came to the here in Cleveland, Ohio, and where one of the Western students came to in my life, and he told me to just go and teach in the Oberlin College of Ohio. I started with the one student, and I taught there for 20 years, part-time. But in meantime, on music, you cannot survive. I had two children to raise.
mm.
So I went to college back here in 80s, where no woman or man will think about it. I took a master's degree in computer science and accounting, dual degree.
Again,
And I didn't like.
again, as a woman, you were not supposed to do that, and you did, right?
Yes, I did it for my children and I did it for my own inner voice that I should study. And then I worked full time as a program analyst for 30 years, still raising the kids, still playing the music. And then slowly, the schools and colleges called me, not as a big way, but sporadically. And I went there, did my concerts and workshops, and that's where my whole life was built up to teach music everywhere. Then ashram life came, and ashram people called me in 2002. I didn't know anybody, but they called me and said, "You have to come to Montreal for 3 days." And I say, what I'm going to do with 3 days? Driving is one day, coming back is one day, and one day to stay there is too much for my body, and it's not spiritually rich. But I did it, and since then I'm attached with the ashram where I teach more spiritual music, because spirituality enhances the human spirit. And the and spirituality, they go together. We cannot separate it out. And music has no religion, race, or gender. And what happened with this kind of philosophy? And I'm very person of the very less word I won't say about me. My words will tell you, or my work will tell you. So what happened? That affected my thoughts, emotions, and my subconscious mind, where I got the inspiration to compose more music. And I composed more music in a California ashram.
Oh,
Yoga farm, Sivananda Yoga farm. There is a Radha Krishna temple. So after the brunch in the morning, I'll take a pencil and a paper. No, nothing, no recording, nothing. Just me and my pencil and a paper. And I started composing. I composed around 100 compositions, a new one, not the old one, new one. I composed 3 sitar concertos in the yoga farm. And that
wow.
is like a spiritual place.
Wow.
And
I have many questions coming to my mind. Can I interrupt you for a second? Because you are very inspiring, right? So before we start to talk about your composition, I would like to hear a little bit about the specific style. Can you describe, because you don't play the sitar like other sitarists, do. There is a very specific manner of playing the sitar. Can you describe that a little bit, please?
Yes, sitar music is a law of sound, nature's law of sound. Sitar, when I play, I connect with the spiritual divine power, and I ask for their mercy and their inspiration, and that emotion kicks in my hand and when I play, and that emotion brings you with my vocal style, Gayaki all the time. So my connection is with the divine power. And to me, I feel like that God is playing with me, on me, and in me. So he is the one, he is the creator. And that is a special thing. I cannot explain you the divinity and the thoughts I'm going through when I play. And when I play, I don't see you as an audience. I don't see me as a player. I think God, I want God to play for me so I can present the best.
That is fantastic, right? So you are just following your inspiration. You forgot your body, you forgot who you physically are, and you become one with the audience, isn't it?
I'm just begging for his mercy to play good, because I do not know anything how to play. To me today also I feel like I do not know how to play because I'm not young anymore. So my body tells me the pain and everything, but I ask for his mercy to please help me to play. So I can be your instrument and play in the world.
Right.
For other people.
So you are connecting music and spirituality. One question that came to my mind is, I will use this term in bracket, the healing aspect of your work, because I've been to your concert, and when you get out of this kind of concert, you feel different. And it is difficult to explain. How do you explain that? Do you heal people with your music?
No, I don't see people with, I don't connect with the people. I just have one thing in my mind, that prayers, the longing, and the combination of the notes in the raga. Raga means the melody. Those combinations and permutations creates the mood, and I think that mood enhanced by the divine power. I have no power to play. When I play, it's like sometimes I do not know what I played.
Wow.
Even my recordings are there. See my recordings in the internet or in the CD Baby or YouTube Tunes or Spotify. Those recordings I've never edited. It's a one-time play. I didn't do nothing. I just played with the unknown tabla player, and I just sit there, and some power comes to me. I don't know what.
Wow, that's fantastic. But this is an exceptional performing, no? It's like you feel like a bliss. How do you feel when you play? After you play, do you feel different? Do you feel like it's a blessing for you personally? Do you feel something that is very profound inside?
Yeah.
Can you describe that?
I do feel different. Everybody says that you look like a 20 years old when you are on the stage. I'm not 20 years old, but they say I feel so different. I'm so light, and I'm happy to talk to the people. But I do not know what to talk with the people after the performance, because I'm so overwhelmed with my music, and I'm so engrossed in my body cells and my me are so different. So to me, it is so difficult to converse with the people also.
Oh.
It's difficult.
Because
I appreciate they want to talk. I do not know what to talk.
You don't know what to talk, but you are making yourself one with your instrument, right?
I talk through my notes. I talk through my music. So that's why I tell my audience that stay with me, listen to my each and every note. I'm talking to you, and my message is with you for every single person in my audience, whether it is 5 people or there are 1,000, or there are 10,000 people. They're all, I have to connect with everybody at the same time.
About your instrument, your physical instrument, do you have many instruments, or do you have one special sitar that you brought with you from India? Do you care for this instrument, or do you purchase many different instruments? Talk to me about your physical instrument that you have.
I brought my sitar. It was specially made for me, and all the decoration was ivory, the red sitar. If you see in my series, some picture of the red sitar, it is the one. But that's getting old, and I do not have much. I don't want to damage more, so I have another sitar. I play, and that sitar is like a vintage sitar for me. So I may donate my sitar to a museum someday, where I don't know. God will decide where to do that thing. I'm not a very religious person, but I'm more spiritual. So I won't talk about my God. I won't say loud. I won't sing loud. I won't talk about it. But I kept it. I'm an introvert person, so I just keep it myself.
So
and
there is a difference for you between the religion and the spirituality, right? It's not the same thing, right?
Yes. Everybody tells me, what is your religion? And that is the best thing I can put it. I have so many students from around the world. They bring their altar. They bring their good luck charms from China or Buddhism or Muslim or Christianity or Jewish. They all bring. So I put every charm in my altar. So I belong to all the religion, but I don't belong to no religion, because music is my religion. I will play through the music, all the religions. So I have so many students with different faiths. Not only, I have hardly Indian students, all the different faiths in the world. I was in China, I was in Taiwan, and come to Canada, in America, everywhere, or India. But I do not have that what do you say? Oh, I'm hooked. I'm touched with. No, I do not. I'm like an oil in the water. I'm with everybody, but I'm with nobody.
Wow, that's fantastic. You are very blessed to be like this. Do you transmit this aspect of the sitarist when you are teaching? Because you also are an educator, and you have a lot, like you just said, you have a lot of students around the world. Do you transmit this this spiritual connection with the music, or you just stick to the music techniques and that's it?
It is up to the particular student. You cannot tell that they will not understand the spirituality. Everybody, it has to come from within. From you, it should come, the spirituality. So students come in the beginning, and Western students have knowledge of Western music, and they are learning Indian music. So they are very skeptical about the notes and the positions of the notes and everything. But when they know me, when I play, slowly, directly, indirectly, knowingly, unknowingly, they are connecting with the spirituality. And my many students now, Western students, on violin, viola, cello, double bass, in Italy or Seattle or America or in China, they all play different music with these Western musicians.
Right. And but
go ahead. I want to my message of the beautiful music of vocal style to wherever the opportunity occurs in my life.
So this, my observation is this music is completely different, for example, as violin or as guitar, or I'm not minimizing the violin, the guitar, and the other instruments, because I believe that all the music is has a certain spirituality behind, no? But I find, and I would like you to talk about this, there is an additional spiritual aspect from the sitar, isn't it? Do you feel like that?
Yes. My friend, doctor, every music is great. Western music, classical music is a great. I listen to Western radio in America for last 30 years in the morning when I get up at 4 o'clock to practice music. So around 3:30, 3:45, my radio starts and I listen sometime for half an hour, the Western music, Mozart and Bach and Beethoven, every single day. So that is my subconscious mind is there with for the Western music. I respect everybody. And being Indian music based on the nuances and the microtones, so violin and viola or double bass, when they slide their fingers, the right notes are coming from there than the guitar. Guitar has a fixed fret, but violin and viola do not have the fixed frets.
Did you ever try other instruments such as the violin and other instruments? Did you ever try to play these instruments in your life?
I didn't play, but I taught everybody. I taught so many students violin and viola and double bass, cello. There are so many photographs. My life is full of colorful. I have so many photographs, the memories. I will send you one photograph, how I teach the Western students even. There are some videos there in YouTube. My oboe students perform like a class performance. Whatever they learn in one semester is there. Please go and look it over, is there. My name and Oberlin College, and videos will pop up.
So you agree to popularize your music through these social media so that people can hear you more than just into the concerts, no? You want to?
No, I like concerts more. I like concerts. The reason is that in concert there are so many people. You put the seed, you are instilling the seed in their mind that what is a beautiful music and and when I play, it is more professional style. So you can get the depth of the sequences, the play style, the rhythmic patterns, and everything is so different. So I like the concerts, but I like the social media also, that people who are not able to attend my concert or they may not know what is sitar music, at least they can listen to that one. They listen to my orchestra. There's one orchestra in YouTube somewhere, Houston Orchestra is there. So there are too many. Believe me, I do not know how to do on computer. My students put it. I am not a computer genius.
But you are a programmer. But you are a programmer.
I'm a programmer, but I program it. But to me, spending time on computer kills my creativity when I want to compose. It's your creativity. You don't want to sit with the machine. And I know I learn very hard languages and I perform on the computer. But nowadays it is it's easy for everybody who can go and try hard, they can work it out.
Do you consider that your compositions are, well, you told us that you are directly inspired. Do you think that improvisation for you is the best way to compose, or you already built a structure of your music before you start to play it?
Doctor, there is a structure is always there for the raga structure, how to play, what are the combinations and permutations, which notes are very important, which are not important, which are not allowed to be played. Yes, structure is there. And I do not go technical. I keep those sequences intact, but with the divine directions, I compose according to that one. So my composition is connected with the divine, still structure. So when you listen to my orchestra, is a full raga in a perfect way, the way the maestros were playing 500 years ago or 1,000 years ago, the same sequence. But I ask the divine power to help me to flourish and nourish that section.
I believe
Does it make some sense to you?
they listen, yeah, of course, and they listen to your request, but because your compositions are divine and has a lot of spiritual power. Do you teach to your students to compose? Do you teach composition to your students?
Yes. I gave my composition to them. Believe me, I composed on my Indian score system. And when I composed recently for my book, 100 New Composition, I didn't have no knowledge about the Western score system called Sibelius language. I heard very hard way I learned that language. And I composed all the compositions in Sibelius also. So anybody in the world, when they open up my book, they have an Indian score system and a Western score system, and then they can play Indian music so well. I'm looking for a publisher who can trust me in my work, and I can at least, it's not for the one country or any, it goes for everywhere in the world. People can play who loves the music. And also, when I compose, when I teach my students, that's the second point, that when I teach my students, I make some improvisations and I tell them, this is where I did it. Now you tell me how you can do it, which way you want to do it. So they can use their creativity and spontaneously I correct them, and that gives them a power to compose.
Yeah. So in a way, you inspire them to develop their own creativity, right?
Yes.
And
that's for sure.
And they perform their compositions to you. You may be very happy to listen to this.
What did you say? One more time. What did you say?
You may be very happy to listen to your students' composition. You may be very happy. How do you feel?
Yes. What happens, Indian music is 95% improvisational music. So there is no book. You improvise constantly. So when I improvise and I tell them to do it, and they copy and they make new compositions, new combinations, I feel like my efforts are worth it. It's worth to teach everybody.
Right. So when you teach to your students, do you have like senior students that became performer as well? Or none of them could achieve this level of being like a professional performer? Did you achieve to teach enough to make them professional performers?
There are few, they play professionals. There are few professionally, they play sitar and also tabla. They play professionally. They work in a symphony orchestra. They are part of the player in the orchestras also. And they got selected in the orchestra because of their improvisational skill, how they make combination and permutations. That was the big joy for me, that at least they are in the right directions.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. Sorry. Did you yourself played with orchestra in concerts? Were you invited by some orchestra to give concerts?
I played these 3 sitar concerto I composed. I played with them. I was the main person to play with them. I opened up the orchestra concert with my playing. I brought the tabla. And even our last concerto, it is not in the internet, but I composed with the choir also, choir and orchestra together. So there are challenges were there, and it's there. It is all done. So only thing is that people like in the world, like you also, needs to listen and see what you can take it to the next level for that one.
How do you feel? What is the difference for you when you play alone as compared to when you play in an orchestra? Because when you're alone, you improvise, you do not have to follow the orchestra, etc. You are alone, so you can be more free. Is it more difficult for you to connect with the others, or talk to me about that aspect?
Doctor, when I composed my orchestra, it was a scribble way. Then I get a refine, I found a arranger, I wrote down in Sibelius. But when I played the music, you won't believe it. I do not sit down and memorize anything. But when I play and when the orchestra people play, I remember every single piece that I composed. So I have no problem following them, or when they make mistake, I jump in and correct them so nobody knows that it is a mistake also.
And
It's God mercy on me. That's only thing I can tell you.
wow. And you also have a choir, you said, right? You're working with voices. Talk to me about this part of
Yes.
I did not know that. Talk to me about this part of your work, because it's different.
See, when I was young girl, and they were training me to become a sitar player, at that time they teach you voice and they teach you the rhythm on tabla, is a pair of drums of India. So I had to learn. I'm not a tabla player, but I know all the techniques and how to play. So I teach them that the students, all the techniques. Same thing with the vocal. Vocal is without vocal you cannot create the music. You have to sing. You have to sing to connect with the nuances and connect with the divine. So what happens? Vocal is the one. So I have students 4 years old. I started young as 4 years old and older as 65. They all come in my life, and I teach them according to their level, and then they have to sing. Sa re ga re sa, sa re ga ma ga re sa, ni re ga ma pa ma ga re ga, ni re ga ni re. They have to learn these nuances through voice.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's very lovely to hear you. Huh? So again, like I said, I've seen some of your concert, and you feel lifted. We are floating when we see your concert. And I remember that very clearly. So that was a pleasure to have you.
I am so blessed. And to me, one thing I want to tell you, music is another yoga, is a voice, yoga of voice, another yoga. And it is the easiest way method for meditation. If you cannot meditate, keep singing the same hum and you are connected, you are meditation. So it is a getaway to connect with the divine power.
You can express.
It's a divine power.
Absolutely. And there is also a way with music to express something that words cannot express, right? Is that true? Do you feel that?
Yes. Yes. And then it is like a voice, the music therapy is like a listening therapy. You have to listen. It is invasive. It is non-pharmaceutical. There is no side effect of it. And then you are getting the energy by speaking, learning, and that reduce your stress and fear and anger. Sometimes my heartbeats are around 60 when I sing, you know. So it's like a very calm down position, you know.
So
it's a calming effect.
Yeah, you calm down the person, and so the emotion can be relieved, and well, there is a healing going on at that moment in a certain way.
Yes. I want to talk about my books also. Remember, I talk about my books.
Talk to us about your books. Yes. What how many books did you
write? It's a book.
Oh.
This is one book. Did you see that?
Yes, I can see.
Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. This book, there is a professor in Lafayette College in Pennsylvania in America. She was interviewing the women composers of the world, but living in the United States. So she interviewed me, and I'm an Indian musician. I'm not belong to the Western musician or composer either. I do not know, but she found me. And she selected 54 women composers, no, 25 women composers of the world, and I'm one of them. So this is my chapter. Hold on. This is me.
Wow.
And she wrote, this is the one. She wrote about 15, 20 pages about my work, my legacy, and my life.
Wow.
So if you can find it, Dr. Rosner, Marilyn Rosner has the copy. I gave it to her.
Yeah, we can also easily find the link to get the copy for the benefit of our audience. We will put that link, definitely. So
yeah.
You have
I don't know. And then there's another book.
Okay.
There's another book.
This is in what language?
Book is written by, it is an Indian language called Gujarati.
Oh.
Gujarati. And one of the professors like you came to America from India, and he interviewed more than 100 people in America who went through the hardship, still achieved something different in the life. And he selected 54, and he did not put any photograph, but my chapter starts from here.
Okay. So
and he wrote about my life, my things. Anybody can read this, but this is a book.
Okay. You have another one?
No, only two.
Only two?
I have two. Unless you write the third one.
Do you want to write a book?
No, I have to. You can if you are. To me, I want to leave a legacy of a great music, not my legacy. My legacy of a great music. And how you can play. I got a temptation, like everybody, do fusion and make more money and name and fame. I want to keep this music pure as my forefathers, 1,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago, played the music so pure. That's the way I want to keep music.
Yes.
One raga was played in 1,500 years ago with a musician called Mia Tansen. The raga he played, those nuances I'm still playing today, same way. Because how it passed, it's like a word to mouth, one-on-one, passing out to generation. And my Guruji taught me this one. So my point is that I want to keep the music very pure.
Yeah, because there is some musician that are playing, for example, the guzheng, which is the Chinese, I would say, counterpart of the sitar, and they are playing North American pop music or rock and roll top 40 cover. You would never do that, right? You would protect your music as it is.
Yeah, please pardon me, forgive me. Even Anushka plays the same thing with the fusion and the Western musician, you know. Not the pure, but to me, I kept myself as a pure music.
So you prefer to keep the purity of the music?
Yes, like for example, when I compose my compositions or orchestra, I want when people after 500 years or 1,000 years, when they study my music, they don't want to tell that I made a mistake or I made a fusion. It is a pure music. That's my commitment to myself.
Yes. As a women composer, as a women sitarist today, as compared to few years and some years ago, do you feel that it is more accepted by the masters, by the people, by the traditions, as opposed to before? Is it more accepted? Do they accept your way and composition and all?
I do not go to India thereafter. I cannot go to India thereafter. I stayed in America. So to me, I do not know what is the situation, but I keep playing in America all the time whenever they call. Whenever the call comes, I keep playing. I do not compare, and I'm not afraid of playing with anybody. I just play. Whatever God gives you the ability to play with your ability. There is no competition. There is no comparison.
But still, you understand that it is a very special I mean, if there is very less women that were playing sitar, so you are like privileges. And also, do you consider yourself a source of inspiration for girls to do the same as you?
I send you 3 articles. I send you 3 articles. And one of the students called Alisa Rega, she is the student of viola, and she will tell you what, she went with me, studied with me 4 years during her Oberlin College, and she is a prime example that inspired her. She was no serious student, playing here and having a party and go here and there, but the discipline, I don't preach anybody. I don't preach. They see my life as an example, and from there they can pick it up, the pieces.
You're like your master.
It's inspiration.
You're like your first master.
I rely on my divine power.
Oh, we hear some music around you, right?
No, I don't know. Somebody's calling me.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what are your upcoming projects? What are you going to make some new records, some new composition? What are your upcoming projects?
My first project is to publish the book. And my main goal in the life, because I'm not young, I don't want to leave the world without publishing the book. That's my main goal. I'm praying God every day. Second thing, I want to record more music, but I don't want to record with any tabla player. I want the best tabla player. It's not that I'm a ego. I'm challenging myself that with the best tabla player, that will bring the quality and my ability to play to the best in the world. So I wanted, but I had to go to India. I cannot do it here, and I do not know when I'm gonna go to India. Yes, when I go to India, I'll definitely record some ragas.
Because in United States, you cannot find these kind of performer, right? Can't find.
Yes, find it. It's I don't know, but there are so many tabla players. They are good talents. They may not be a big name on the screen, but they are much better than the good big name. And I want to bring them with me, so we all both can play the best.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Well, I am very blessed to have the chance to have this 2 short interview with you. This is all the time that we had together.
So, Doctor, so much. So thank you, sir. Thank you. Please say my thanks to everybody in your center also.
Thank you very much.
Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.
And namaste.
Have a good day. Goodbye.